Natural gas has been discovered near the Denville and Western Railroad. A gasworks was soon constructed, and the owner of the gasworks even bought new narrow-gauge tank cars for the railroad. Some of the tankers were questionable, to say the least. The tank cars will be taken to Denville. They'll be transferred to standard-gauge tank cars, then either taken to Otisville or down Taylor's branch line to the seaport to go on to ships. As this will be the first time the Denville and Western will be handling hazardous materials, Mr. Alt decided to bring in the safety train. The safety train is a special train that travels to different railroads. It's used to educate employees on what to do with hazardous chemicals if an emergency arises. One day, Sapphire and Pierce were watching the safety train in Denville Yard. Pierce noticed that Sapphire looked a little uneasy. "What's the matter, Saph?" asked Pierce. "I do not like the idea of us having a gasworks on our railroad," Sapphire answered. "It all seems too dangerous for me." "I wouldn't worry too much about it," Pierce reassured. "The big engines take oil tankers all the time, and you never hear of them having any serious accidents." "You're right," agreed Saph, "but something still doesn't feel right." A few days later, Saph was taking her regular passenger train. She saw Dewan at a siding with some loaded tankers. "How was it up there, Dewan?" asked Saph. "Seems pretty normal," Dewan answered. "Nothing eventful. I just picked up my tankers and left." "Oh, all right," Sapphire said. She puffed away. At Denville, Larry was talking to Pierce when Sapphire arrived. Mr. Alt was also waiting for her. "Sapphire, tomorrow morning, I need you to go to the gasworks with some empty tankers and bring loaded ones back." Sure," stuttered Sapphire. As soon as Mr. Alt was out of earshot, Sapphire asked, "Pierce, could you please take the train for me?" "I'm sorry, Saph," sighed Pierce. "I'd like to, but I already have something I have to do tomorrow." Larry tried to be helpful. "Saph, I had a fuel tanker on my mixed train today, and you still see I'm in one piece. You'll be okay too." But Sapphire wasn't really sure. Early the next morning, Sapphire went to pick up her empty tankers. To try to ease her mind and take a little pressure off her, Pierce made up the train for her. "I took extra time and picked out the best tankers for you," Pierce smiled. "Thank you, Pierce," said Sapphire quietly, and she steamed toward the gasworks, not knowing what to expect. The trip up was very uneventful. She dropped off the tankers at the racks and then went to go get turned around for the trip home. The loaded tank cars that Saph had to take back weren't in great condition at all. Most of them were old, filthy, and rusty. "Excuse me," she called to the gasworks manager. Is there different tankers I could take?" "No," he said sharply. "Those tankers are already loaded, and we're not transferring them. You must take them, and that's it." Sapphire decided not to argue. She didn't want to get in trouble for not doing her job. As they got onto the open line, Sapphire's fears came true. As she passed by some rocks, there was a crack, a snap, then a crash. The third tanker had derailed, smashing against the rock face, causing it to leak. And then suddenly, "Oh no, it's a fire," said Sapphire's driver. Her fireman went to uncouple her. Her driver pulled on her regulator, but Sapphire wouldn't move. Oh no! Pierce arrived on his way to the mine and could see everything. "Sapphire," he called. "Move! Those tankers are on fire!" "I can't move," Sapphire cried, nearly in tears. "My regulator's jammed." "Don't worry," called Pierce. "I'm coming." He uncoupled his hoppers on the fly and sent them flying. But Pierce didn't care. All he wanted to do was get to Sapphire. He went over and quickly coupled up to her, and without a second thought, pulled her clear. Just in time. They didn't stop until they reached the section house, where their crews could call for help. It was fortunate Malcolm was able to bring some water cars and some firemen up in a works train to put out the fire. Thankfully, no one had been hurt. Also, Sean was set out with a wrecker. The cars Pierce sent flying did indeed come off the tracks. Mr. Alt spoke kindly to Sapphire and Pierce. "The accident, the fire, and the explosion was not your fault. And Pierce, don't worry about the hoppers. I understand what you've done. You did a good thing by rescuing Sapphire." Both engines remained quiet. "You two went through a bad ordeal," Mr. Altz continued. "I will give you the next couple of days off." Sapphire and Pierce were only able to say, "Thank you, sir," very quietly. Things changed after the accident. Mr. Altz, as well as the railroad inspectors, scolded the gasworks manager for dismissing Sapphire's concerns about the bad tankers. As a result, he was fined and had to clean and rebuild every tanker he bought, as well as paying for the damage to the tracks from the explosion. Pierce and Sapphire eventually went back to work as normal, but it would be a very long time before they were comfortable going back to the gasworks again.